Morpheus never looked at Maeve in the eye as tears fell from his face. He had cried so many times now that the tears were meaningless. But not to Maeve. She looked from the prince to her husband. None of them made a move. I don't understand, said Maeve's husband, his eyes pools of salty tears, the pools of salty tears that Maeve had seen all her life. All her life. Oh, yes, you do, boomed the prince. This is all a trick. You are trying to trick Maeve, but she is mine, and soon she will be my wife, and not yours. Morpheus shrieked and grabbed Maeve's arm. The prince promptly yanked it back. Stop it, Maeve cried. Leave me alone, both of you. No, Morpheus said, you must be punished for trying to escape. Maeve felt the knife in her belt. The knife she had never used, the knife she had never planned to use, the knife that had carried the secrets of war and love. She had always kept the knife with her, but not as a means of violence, but as a means of hopefully remembering who she was. Originally, she wondered if she was her father's daughter. Then she wondered if she was Morpheus's wife. And now was she the prince's soon-to-be wife? Maeve only existed on other people. She feared being alone where there was nothing. She had no identity, and where she was left wondering if she even existed. Now she started to understand what her mother had meant when she said that the knife will tell you who you are. It will free you from being someone else's. If Maeve used this knife, she would be declaring herself a new person. Or maybe she would be declaring herself the old person that she had always been. Either way, she would have to learn to be alone, and she could do that, she hoped. But it was not easy as she stared into Morpheus's eyes. It was true that the good in him drew her to him, but the bad in him also drew her even closer. And when she turned to the prince, she saw a life of happiness and freedom. But she realized that the freedom would not be freedom, and that happiness would not be happiness, if only she knew what she meant. She decided that if the prince truly cared for her, he would let her strike him down. He would let her claim the glory and not him. That would be the test. Maeve drew her knife, her fingers trembling. The knife slipped out of her hand. Morpheus looked at it as if it was a disease-covered rodent. He quickly kicked it away with his foot. That was how it had always been. Any rare strike of rebellion Maeve had ever made against him, he had shooed away. But Maeve wasn't her old self anymore. She was new, brand new. She would make the rules. She felt the prince's fingers around her wrist. She looked at him for a second and yanked her hand away from him, away from Morpheus, and close to her chest. She ran to the knife, holding it with newfound confidence. No, the prince cried. It's too dangerous for a girl like you. I must complete it. Girl. The words stung, but she remembered the promise she had made to herself. If the prince didn't let her become her own person, she would never marry him. She refused to obey another controlling man. Boy was a better word, she thought. Maeve looked at the knife again, as if making sure it was really there. She raised the knife, aimed, and threw. She did not look as the blade hit through Morpheus's heart. But she had had no other choice, she told herself. He would have locked her up forever.
Wow. Aimee, that is just really, really amazing work.
Thank you.
That is such amazing work. And, you know, it's terrible because I always say these positive things, and then I know it makes you think that I'm not being critical, um, which is not true. I'm very critical. Um, but I never could have imagined anything just so complicated and deep that you created in 30 minutes. It's incredible. Um, could you read that sentence? May uses the knife. Remember that I'm often commenting on Liam's repeating of words. I think you've got some nice repetitions there. Just begin that sentence again.
Okay.
It's at towards the beginning. It's about when she wants to use the knife to kind
Oh,
of
yeah. Is it this one? The knife she had never used, the knife she had never planned to use, the knife that carried the secrets of war.
Beautiful. Right. Read that slowly so everybody can hear.
The knife she had never used, the knife she had never planned to use, the knife that carried the secrets of war and love.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Now, can you feel the rhythm in that? You can rock your body to it. Let's just do that one time. Let's read it. You can rock your body to it. The knife that. She's got a pattern going here. Just do that.
Okay. The knife she had never used, the knife she had never planned to use, the knife that carried the secrets of war and love.
Beautiful. Very beautiful. Okay, excellent. Um, Incredible story, really interesting and a fabulous feminist story. I love it. I love the theme. Um, and it's it's wonderful. And who exactly is the antagonist that you're thinking of in this story?
I was sort of thinking it was Morpheus, but then in a way it's also the prince. So I kind of realized that there's kind of more than one in a way, and maybe also the antagonist is less of a person and more about like her sense of needing to rely on someone more than an actual person, perhaps.
Yeah, patriarchy. In this case, patriarchy might be the actual um, antagonist. Um, Beautiful.